What's up, y'all? Kerry Jack here with my brother, business partner, and best friend, Mr.
Grant Kenzior.
And we are about to share with you the importance of connecting with nature, specifically disconnecting from society and its noise and reconnecting to yourself and your true soul in nature. And truly, there's been a great epidemic taking place. Sure, there's a pandemic, but there's a great epidemic of this chasm that's just been growing ever so slightly every single day. And it's the epidemic between people and the planet. It's the connection that's being lost. For most people, specifically in developing or more developed countries, I would say, like United States, we spend a lot of time indoors connected to, our devices and soaking up recycled air and just living in toxic blue light and then commuting in our vehicles, which are not outside, they're enclosed, and we're just so disconnected from our food sources and from our hunting and gathering primal ways. And so in this episode, we're going to talk about the importance of nature, specifically the 3-day effect. And we're also going to talk about the Montana Mastermind epic camping adventure, because this is something that Grant and I put together that truly makes a difference in people's lives, because it gets you out of that noise, that society hustle and bustle, and into nature. Grant, why don't you just start by talking about your connection with nature and how it's positively impacted your life?
Well, my connection with nature is everything to me, truly. I find my home in nature. It's my refuge. To everything that I really try to accomplish in my life is all tied to nature. Nature is really tied to every part of our existence and the essence of our human beings. It's tied to our health, our happiness. Everything is tied back to nature. If you look at any ancient civilization, it was truly the connection with nature that brought the best out of people. And there's so many beautiful things about just slowing down in nature and kind of syncing your frequency with the frequency of nature. We all put these megahertz frequencies on and sound healing and these things, but there's nothing like the true sound healing of nature. Hearing the wind rip through a valley, the feeling of the power of a river coming onto your body, sitting on the beach and watching waves crash, and just the power of nature. These natural frequencies are so healing to our souls. And for me in particular, it's always been such a grounding part of my life. I wake up every morning and do sunrise meditation out in nature. I try to get a daily walk or hike in nature, and then usually close my day with a sunset, sitting outside watching the sun, slowly go down in the beautiful colors of Mother Nature working together. And I just think it's so important to slow down and work your day around these natural occurrences of nature, and to just spend time disconnected from your devices and really connected into Pachamama's beautiful power.
Yeah, amen to that. And to your point, not only is nature good for you and your soul, but scientifically it's proven that there's something called the 3-day effect. And I want to get into a little bit of the science, because if you're feeling a little bit of a lack in terms of your nature connection, allow this to be the catalyst. Allow this science to reconfirm the need to get outside. And there's really nothing like the great outdoors. Us humans have been living and enjoying the great outdoors for hundreds and thousands of years. And it was really only within the last 100 years that we have really started to live indoors. And specifically the last 50 years, where we have been just inundated with technology into our everyday reality. Most of us have just lost touch with nature and have been just so disconnected from our beautiful planet's amazing natural environments and its benefits. Well, new studies show the benefits of being outdoors for 3 days. David Sawyer, a cognitive psychologist at the University of Utah, he actually coined the term the 3-day effect. And those in nature for 3 days showed lower prefrontal cortex activity, a brain region that, when overstimulated, is responsible for stress, depression, and anxiety. So, there's some benefits to being outdoors in nature for 3 days, and those include lowering your blood pressure, improved memory, elevated mood, better sleep quality, increased self-esteem, better vitamin absorption, and just stronger immune system. So literally, exposing yourself to nature has been scientifically shown to improve both mental and physical health. And research has shown that even just the sounds of nature, as Grant mentioned, being outdoors and hearing that river or those waves or just the wind, it's something that really positively affects your brain. And even outdoor silence can lower cortisol, the stress hormone that activates our fight or flight response. A nature setting may also correlate to a likelier receptiveness to introspection, positive internal dialogue, and an overall increase in happiness. Hence why we created the Montana Mastermind Epic Camping Adventure for the duration of 4 days, 3 nights out in the wilderness. It's exactly designed to get you these benefits that I just discussed. Grant, talk to us a little bit about the Montana Mastermind Epic Camping Adventure.
Well, I want to start at the origins of it. I think the origins of it is where Carrie and I grew up, spending our summers out in Montana, experiencing more than the 3-day effect, but weeks effect of really slowing down and being with nature. And it's really shaped us into the human beings that we are today, and really helped us find our center in this wild world.
Yeah.
And, we have always used Montana and the wilderness here as a refuge in our personal life after burning out in New York, as you've talked about many times in the podcast. And, whenever I speak at a big conference and I'm inundated by all the signals and EMFs, I always come back to Montana to slow down and center. And we always use this feeling that we have when we come out of the woods, so rejuvenated, empowered, and just like he said about the 3-day effect, just a better quality life. I feel like I can come back into the world of 21st century into a whole new light. And we wanted others to be able to experience this. We've had so many others reach out to us, friends, family, colleagues, when we're at conferences. We're like, how can we create an experience to help others experience the feeling we get when we leave the woods? And we've been doing this for almost 20 years now, camping out in the woods, and it was something that...
More than that, actually.
Yeah.
We started when we were like 6 and 8, really.
Yeah, these, experiences just going off, Carrie and I as little tykes, in our backpacks and a can of bear spray, would go out there for 5-6 nights, just the two of us at 6 and 8 years old.
Well, our dad would actually drop us off, and he would say, get home, and we would hitchhike home from the trailhead. I don't think it was 6. He was with us for the 6 and 8 when we were that age, but when we turned 10, we got to go alone, and yeah, it was powerful.
Yeah, and it's such a powerful experience every time you really go camp out. It takes the first day or two to really slow down your clock and harmonize with the rhythm of Pachamama. And that's why the 3-day effect, the science is now proving that, but we've understood this our whole life, and how important it is to get out there and just slow down, where you lose track of time and you start really working with the sun. You wake up with the sun, you go to bed with the sun, like the natural heat off a campfire. It's like this sweet smell of, just being out in nature every day. And it really brings out this, primal person within all of us that, we really want to tap into that nature in all of us, because it's some of our true strength. And that's what this Montana Mastermind is all about, is like, how do we help others achieve that? Because in my personal beliefs as an environmentalist, I think one of the greatest ways to change the current environmental crises that our planet is facing is to get people reconnected with nature, because then they're more empowered to do something to change it. And all of us as individuals can make a change and can be a part of the change, and should. And for us, exposing people to the 3-day effect and connecting them with nature again, and like truly connecting, not just a little hike in LA, but really getting out there, disconnected, and into the elements, really brings out, this essence that they want to do something to change the planet, and they want to be a better person overall. And I'm excited that we have a couple masterminds going on this summer, and something we want to, continue to expose people to this 3-day effect, and helping them, get away from the EMFs of our everyday life and reconnect with themselves and the beautiful nature, and some awesome entrepreneurs in the process.
Yeah. I mean, so the Montana Mastermind Epic Camping Adventure is all about just digitally detoxing, tapping into your primal nature, and enjoying the great outdoors while you connect with like-minded badass entrepreneurs. And basically, we designed it so it's an epic 5 days, 4 nights in the backcountry camping backcountry camping in the wilderness, mixing this business and pleasure. And we start off by actually, you fly into Montana. And just to give you a little more logistics, you fly into Montana, we'll pick you up, we go right to the wilderness, we camp out at the trailhead. We have a professional backcountry chef who cooks up delicious and nutritious, organic, healthy foods. Then we hike into the actual wilderness of Montana. This is national forest. There's no signal. There's no motorized vehicles. This is the real deal. We're talking grizzly bears, black bears, mountain lion, moose, wolves, elk, deer, you name it. It's there. It's the real deal. And we hike in typically around 10 miles. Usually your pack will be around 50 pounds. If you do decide to come, you carry your own personal tent, sleeping bag, clothes, etc. And then we have our cowboy buddy pack in horses with all the group gear, so it lightens the load, and all the food. He brings typically 5 horses, and we pack in a lot of that heavy bulk group gear and food. So you just have to worry about your stuff. Then we hike in about 10 miles. We get to base camp. And that's where the magic happens. That's where you just really settle in and, excuse me, and you start to just enjoy nature's glory.
I want to add to that, though.
Go ahead.
Because in my opinion, the magic happens on the hike, too. Because it's all about that feeling of earning it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you've never backpacked before. It's a struggle carrying some weight up a mountain. Like, even for us who've been very well experienced backpacking our entire life, every time on that trail there's a part where I have to tap into a deeper part of my grit and get down and like, all right, I'm gonna power through this and get it done. It's always worth it. And so like, it's not always just about that destination. It's the journey and that hike along the way that makes that destination so much more fruitful. So I just wanted to add that element in there, because like that, you're gonna experience a feeling where you're gonna get tested a little bit, and that and even some of the most alpha people that I've hiked with in the past have done a million savage races and all these, CrossFit, very strong athletic people get tested out there.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a beautiful thing to really, push through that and get out there. And then when you get to relax at the end and really tap in and slow down, you feel like you've accomplished something.
Yeah. No, great point. And what's really cool, too, is on the hike, so we actually bring a primitive survival expert who, Grant and I are very well versed in the wilderness. However, we bring in someone who's even more experienced than us to share with you some of the natural edibles along the trail, how to purify water, how to make bow drill fires, how to snare small game. And a lot of these lessons are getting taught in small conversations throughout, as well as in more group learning environments. And then we get to base camp, we set up the camp, we teach you how to, actually create benches and furniture and where to position your tent. And then we actually have just a good old cookout and a mastermind breakout session where we talk about our adversities, we talk about our strengths and what we've accomplished, and how other people can add value to our journey and how we can add value to other people's journey. and we have an actual business mastermind, very structured, and a lot of value gets delivered. Grant, talk to us a little bit about the business mastermind component.
Well, for me, last summer, it was probably one of the biggest catalysts in my business that I've had in years, and it saved me potentially millions of dollars in some decision making that I personally went through. So I want to speak my personal experience there. Actually created several partnerships with some of the brothers that came on the journey there, and got an investor out of the mastermind as well. Like, everyone really is genuinely trying to help each other, and you create a brotherhood when you go out there in the woods. And we bring some really high level entrepreneurs, people that you want to spend time with out there. And that's kind of, our vetting process is, very stringent, but we make sure that we're people that can add value to each other in the group. And in the business mastermind component, it's like millions and millions of dollars of deals happened since the last one, just out of, small talk over the campfire, and it's like, because phones and devices are down and like genuine heart open connection happens. It's people are looking how they can help each other genuinely, and not what they can just profit off of it, and then profit is the result of that, because it's true synergies making in the process there. So the mastermind, people have cried, people have cheered, there's been some beautiful breakthroughs that happen in these mastermind sessions, and it's just so organic and flowing. Is one of my favorite parts of it, is just how easy it is,
And what's cool about the whole itinerary while we're in the backcountry wilderness is it's flexible yet structured. So we have plenty of downtime for you to just go meditate or go fishing or hang out with a friend who you just met and just deepen your connection. Or, we have stuff where we're going on a hike or we're learning how to build a shelter. We also bring in a fly fishing expert who teaches the art and science of fly fishing, because you actually get your own fly rod reel kit as a part of the Montana Mastermind Epic Camping Adventure. And this is a high performance rod that really you can use for life. It's super cool to learn this skill. As they say, you teach a man to fish, well, he eats for a lifetime. This is one of those things where you learn a new skill on how to actually fly fish, and it's so meditative, so relaxing, and you're in some of the best fly fishing waters in the entire world in Montana. And we go to some amazing lakes and river streams where that you can catch really nice trout, and actually we cook them up and eat them. So that's even cooler. And then we get into some more of those primitive survival skills, where how you can snare small game, how you can shoot a primitive long bow and arrow. And we actually bring bows and arrows, and we actually teach you how to survive out in the wilderness. The guys who come are actually contestants on the show alone who have survived in the Arctic for multiple weeks at a time. They also are U.S. Marines, and they just really bring another element of experience and woodsmanship. And it's one of those things where if you have an inkling to really tap into your primal manliness, this is the spot, because then you learn it, and you learn it from some of the best people. In addition to that, talk to us about the food, Grant, because the food is like my favorite.
I'm a foodie, and a lot of the guys last time were foodies. Some even own some large food companies and everything, and the chef that we work with is just outstanding. It's really it's food that fits the circumstance. We really are thoughtful and conscious on how we choose the menus, things that are going to give you the protein that you need before a hike, the energy boost that you want, using a lot of natural game and, wild game here, all organic, fruits and vegetables as well, and grains that are fueling for your body and not just over carb loading you with junk. Even from the coffee down, it's like some of the best moments of our mastermind so far were me just waking up in the morning, having some coffee and a little layered superfood in there with the crew, and having these unbelievable meals, and just people connect over food. And we make sure that nothing is skimped on the food department. We have ample food for everyone, and catching wild fish, we harvested wild mushrooms and berries and incorporated those into the menu while we were out there as well, so people could, taste the fish that they caught minutes before, and like be really showing them that connection to their food.
Yeah.
So I think that was, such an important thing too.
Yeah, and then you learn how to skin a fish and how to skin game and all these different things that you might need to know. And we also have daily primal biohacker workouts, which is really important. You get up in the morning and we do a group workout, body weight, push-ups, pull-ups, sit-ups. We're lifting rocks, we're throwing things. It's really nice to just move the body, especially with the sun shining. And we actually have experts who each one of the guys brings in some different element. One guy brought in a martial art. One guy brought in a deep meditation practice. And we go super deep in our meditations where you can really just hear nothing but your own breath and nature. And it's so relaxing. And as Grant mentioned, we have the campfire cookouts. And one of the favorites is just comedic stories. We all take turns sharing comedic stories, and we have some belly busting comedy. And then what's really cool too is we actually do cold plunges and bathe in the natural bodies of water, which is really rejuvenating, especially when you're sweating from a hot hike. You get in the cold water. Oh, it's amazing. Then we do gratitude journaling and visioneering, where you really can start to think about your next moves. And maybe you're stuck in your business or you're stuck in your personal life and you're kind of wavering on a decision. Chances are you're going to come to the conclusion in the wilderness. It's just something about that environment that brings out and fosters that creativity. And then after that time in the woods, Grant, do you have anything else to add? Am I missing anything in the wilderness? I mean, there's a lot much more.
Yeah,
we don't mention all the surprises. But
there's so many little elements where I think some of the magic lies in just going camping, and it's like going to find firewood, hanging the bear bag.
Yeah.
The little things of doing the dishes out there, but like you're doing the dishes in this natural, beautiful river, and you're just slowing down. Everything is a meditation when you're out there because there's no distractions. You're just in the moment. So for me, it's the little things, and watching some of these guys catch their first fish last time was such a powerful experience of fly fishing, and then the meditation that we teach into the art of fly fishing, and some of these primitive survival things. Like I think one thing what we taught last summer was so nice is like kind of teaching everyone how to find their way out of nature as well. So navigate, using the topography, how to handle these situations when they arise, how to handle injuries, all of these. We have a full medic as well, and medic kits, and so like we're handling everything safely out there, but like how to handle crises when they arise so you feel empowered and willing to take calculated risk out there.
Yeah.
Teaching people how to take calculated risks. There's so many like learning lessons that go into the rest of your life and can be applied to your business life and to your personal life, and these are things that you should be doing in your daily routine, or finding time to camp out wherever you are in the world. But there's something about the magic of Montana where we're at. It's really sacred ground, and we're right on the edge of Yellowstone. I don't know if Carrie mentioned this national forest, so you're getting this energy from the center of the earth coming out, and it's like these hot springs that we go soak in at the end.
Yep.
So one of the top experiences how we finalize is like this is thermal water from the center of the earth coming to heal your body after exposing it and testing it down on all these hikes.
Yeah.
And these rivers are from the purest source, from the snow melt up top. You can't get fresher water in the world. So it's like just the purity of where we are also makes the magic of these experiences.
Yeah, it's really powerful. Just once you are experiencing nature at its true core, something shifts and you just turn into the primal being that you really are. I mean, it's one of those things that lights me up, and as you can tell, Grant and I are passionate about it. But this is something, if you're interested, we have only a couple spots per trip because unfortunately and fortunately there's a cap. It's actual national forest regulations where you can only bring a certain amount of people into the wilderness. So there's a limited amount of spots, but if you are a six-figure earning entrepreneur minimum, maybe 7, 8, there's some 9-figure earning entrepreneurs who come, but if you're a six-figure earning entrepreneur who doesn't have any medical conditions that could potentially halt you from hiking, in and out, 15 miles with a 50-pound pack, and you pass the beer test, meaning Grant and I would actually want to get a beer with you. That's a very important test because vibes are imperative when you're in the wilderness, and you want to make sure that no one's a liability too. So we do a really strict job on vetting. But if you want to apply, you can go to carryjack.com/Montana. There you'll see all the dates for this upcoming summer's trips. You'll also see a button where you can click and apply, and then we'll actually hop on a call, and if it's a fit, great, we'll offer you a spot. Yes, it is an investment, but it's an investment with almost certainly guaranteed ROI. I mean, both personally and professionally. As I mentioned, the group that comes on these Montana Mastermind Epic Camping Adventures are rock stars. Like, these are studs, and they're people that are really driven, high-performing entrepreneurs, but they need a break. They need to disconnect to reconnect. They need to digitally detox, and they want to learn some of these primal skills and really just connect with like-minded badass entrepreneurs. And if that's you, we invite you to apply. It would be our honor to show you the beautiful Montana backcountry wilderness. And as Grant mentioned, we end at the amazing thermal hot springs, and we have a great time in the process throughout, mixing this business with pleasure. So again, carryjack.com/Montana is the place. But regardless, guys, maybe this trip isn't for you right now. Maybe you're not at the minimum, income threshold. That's cool. I recommend just disconnecting from society's noise and getting out in nature regardless. We wanted to really just share this message of connecting with nature because it's so important. And for all the ladies out there, yes, this is a male only for right now this summer, but we are doing a couples version, and we are doing a female version as well. So if you do want to apply and get on the wait list, go ahead and we'll keep all your info and keep you posted on when those dates do come out. But Grant, anything else that you want to just mention before we wrap it up?
I just encourage you all to really take time to be in nature. I'm not just the 5-minute walk while you're on your phone listening to music. Leave your devices at home and truly slow down to the rhythm of our beautiful planet. It will increase every aspect of your happiness and your overall, rejuvenation and connection to the magic of life and why we're here on this planet. Just take that time, if it's a camping trip with your significant other, your family, your friends, get outside and experience the 3-day effect with us or without us. Just go out there into nature where you don't have cell phone service, where there might be some risks, and find a way to really slow down and spend time with yourself and with nature. It's something you will not regret, something that will be an experience that will keep wanting to do more of it. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah.
And it'll change the rhythm of your life in the most beautiful way. So I encourage you all, even today, if it is a 15-minute walk, get outside. Try to get there and just get some fresh air, leave your devices at home, and slow down and connect with the beautiful rhythm of our planet and the heartbeat within yourself and the heartbeat of our beautiful planet, and how you can utilize that connection to save our planet, because our planet is hurting and it needs your help. So be the change, connect with the planet, and do your part to save it.
Amen to all that. Thank you all for watching and listening. We really appreciate it from the bottom of our hearts. And if you are interested in coming on that Montana Mastermind Epic Camping Adventure, one more time, it's carryjack.com/Montana to apply. But regardless, get out there and happy hustle your dream reality. Full that passion, that purpose, and that positive impact. Peace and love, y'all. We are out. And one more thing, guys, I just want to give a big shout out to my book, The Happy Hustle, 10 Alignments to Avoid Burnout and Achieve Blissful Balance. This is still being offered for free. Yes, free $9.99. All you got to do is just help out with shipping and handling. You can go to thehappyhustlebook.com and you can get your copy for free. So check it out. I really think you're going to dig it, because chapter number 10 is Nature Connection, all about just connecting with nature, and we share with you some proven and tested strategies just to happy hustle your dream reality throughout. But specifically, alignment number 10, nature connection, based on this episode, you're going to want to read. So thehappyhustlebook.com is the place. Now get out there and make the most of your time and happy hustle that dream reality. Peace, y'all.